Welcome back to the Inner Circle. I am your host, and I am so deeply grateful that you have chosen to spend the next 10 minutes with me. Today, we are diving into a topic that sits at the very core of our human experience, yet it feels so elusive for so many of us. We are talking about confidence. Not the loud, arrogant, chest-thumping kind of confidence we often see in movies, but the quiet, unshakable belief in your own worth. The kind of confidence that allows you to walk into a room and not feel like you have to prove anything to anyone. I want you to take a second and just feel the space around you. Are you sitting? Are you walking? Whatever you are doing, I want you to realize that you belong exactly where you are, right now. I remember a time in my life when I felt like a complete fraud. I was about to give a presentation to a group of executives and my hands were shaking so hard I had to sit on them to keep them still. I was terrified that they would see right through me, that they would realize I didn't have all the answers. But then a mentor of mine leaned over and whispered something that changed my entire perspective. She said, "Confidence isn't the absence of fear. It is the realization that something else is more important than that fear." That hit me like a ton of bricks. We often wait to feel confident before we take action, but the truth is, the action creates the confidence. It is a feedback loop that starts with a single, trembling step forward. So, let's break this down. How do we actually build this muscle? Because it is a muscle, I promise you. The first pillar is what I call the physicality of power. Our brains and our bodies are constantly talking to each other. When you slouch, when you minimize your physical presence, you are sending a signal to your nervous system that you are in a state of defense. But what happens if you pull your shoulders back? What happens if you take up space? Even just taking 3 deep, slow breaths can shift your physiology from fight or flight to rest and digest. Try it with me now. Inhale and exhale. Do you feel that slight shift in your chest? That is the beginning of control. When you control your body, you begin to convince your mind that you are safe. And when you feel safe, you can be confident. Now, let's talk about the internal noise. We all have that voice, don't we? The inner critic that loves to point out every flaw, every mistake, and every potential disaster. For a long time, I tried to fight that voice. I tried to shout it down, but I realized that the more I fought it, the louder it got. The secret isn't to silence the critic, it is to change your relationship with it. When that voice says, "You are going to fail," try responding with curiosity. Say, "Thank you for trying to protect me, but I'm going to try this anyway." Treat that inner critic like a worried friend who just wants you to be safe, but who doesn't necessarily know what you are capable of. By reframing that internal dialogue, you strip the fear of its power over your identity. Another huge part of this journey is the concept of competence breeds confidence. Often we lack confidence because we are trying to do something we haven't practiced, and that is okay. You wouldn't expect to play a piano concerto the first time you sat at the keys, so why do we expect ourselves to be perfectly confident in a new job, a new relationship, or a new city? Give yourself the grace to be a beginner. Confidence comes from the wins we stack up over time. If you want to be a confident speaker, speak to your mirror, then speak to a friend, then a small group. Each time you survive the experience, your brain registers a new piece of data. I did it, and I didn't die. Those small victories are the bricks that build the fortress of your self-esteem. I want to touch on something a bit more vulnerable now: comparison. We live in an age where we are constantly bombarded by the highlight reels of everyone else's lives. It is so easy to look at someone else's middle and compare it to your beginning. But please, hear me when I say this. Comparison is the thief of joy and the assassin of confidence. Your journey is yours alone. You are not competing with the person on your screen. You are only evolving from the person you were yesterday. When you find yourself falling into that trap, I want you to put the phone down, look at your own hands, and think of 3 things you have overcome. You have a 100% success rate of getting through your hardest days. That is a fact. That is your evidence of strength. As we move toward the end of our time together today, I want to give you a challenge. I want you to identify one thing this week that makes your heart beat a little faster, something that requires just a tiny bit of courage. Maybe it is speaking up in a meeting. Maybe it is wearing that outfit you love but feel too much in. Maybe it is just saying no to something you don't want to do. Do that one thing, not because you are confident, but because you are brave. Courage is the prerequisite for confidence. You do the brave thing first, and the confidence follows you like a shadow. You are more capable than you have ever given yourself credit for. I see that in you, even if you don't see it in yourself just yet. Welcome back to being here with me today. It is such an honor to be a part of your journey. Remember, confidence is not a destination where you suddenly become perfect. It is the process of showing up for yourself over and over again with kindness and persistence. You are enough. You have always been enough. Go out there today and take up space. Speak your truth. And most importantly, be kind to the person in the mirror. I'll be here waiting for you in the next episode. Until then, stay brave, stay curious, and keep growing. This has been The Inner Circle. Take care of yourselves.